Hey everyone, Kim here with Abundant Life Tarot. Welcome back to another Mystery Mystic Musings. This is part 2 of TiJae Baker's reading that we're doing. Please check out part 1. Part 1 is just the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle reading that I do, to get a pulse of what we're dealing with energetically. And now we're going to dive into the Tarot and Oracle reading. I have usually a set number of questions that I like to ask and then see what cards jump. And TiJae is a beautiful 23-year-old college student. She only had one more semester before graduating, and she's an artist. And she accepted a job that was out of state, and she took a train from New York to D.C. And thereafter, very shortly thereafter, lost contact with her family. Like her phone was turned off almost immediately after she left. So we're going to explore the energies and see what's coming up. See if we can get any kind of clues as to where she may be at, who may be responsible, all of that. All right, you all, thank you so much for watching, and let's get started. All right, so now we're at the part where I'm going to throw some additional cards on TiJae Baker. Okay, so Spirit, we have about 4 or 5 questions that we're going to pose to you today. Where is she? So the first question is, what are we dealing with here? I mean, is she ultimately being held against her will? Is this a cult? Is this human trafficking? What are we dealing with here? Woman. What are we dealing with here? 2 or more. Vehicle. Feeling very like, oof. All right, something organized here. Something organized. And I'm saying that, let me zoom in. I'm saying that because we've got the FBI, CIA card. Doesn't necessarily mean law enforcement is involved. Sometimes when cards like this come up, this is speaking to something like it's a very detailed, organized, structured, like network, organization, cooperative thing. 2 or more involved in her disappearance. We've got the woman card. This obviously could be TiJae, or it could be the woman who lured her, or it could be that they target women. Okay, this is underground, buried. Maybe people don't know much about that this has been happening. It's been under their nose, buried, right? It could be that someone or something is buried. If time, that's why I was saying earlier, time is of the essence in figuring out what happened, because if they feel like there's like a lot of attention being brought on them, they being this organization of whatever they are, then they could try to harm her to protect themselves, to protect this network. This also, the FBI and CIA card could represent that the police are aware, the law enforcement is aware of this entity. Baby is interesting. Could she be expecting now? Could they have done something where they being a man, someone impregnated her? Or this could represent that this is part of the trappings, if you will. Vehicle to me instantly felt like some sense of trafficking. All my cards are all my cards. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to reshuffle these because I want a clean, clear shuffle. Spirit, what exactly are we dealing with here? Cannot get this deck together. What are we dealing with here as it relates to TiJae Baker's disappearance? Who are we dealing with? Gilded regret. Anger and chains. Who are we dealing with? Let's see. November. Weeks. Swampy situation. So gilded regret. This could be the regret that TiJae feels about getting involved in this situation. Regretful that this has happened. We have here, I'm looking at this. These, I don't know what you want to call them. I don't know, these spiked kind of antlers, if you will. Not regretting that she didn't see a situation for what it was is what I'm picking up on here. The regret card also could be speaking to the fact that they are regretting that they picked her up. She's a college student. She had one more semester of college and then she was going to graduate. Her family has been making noise. They have been, not giving up. So there's a sense of regret here that she's kicking up dust. This woman, her, is kicking up dust. And they're not pleased with that. In fact, I think they punish her even more with this anger and chains card. This is very much some sort of entrapped situation, okay? They are angry by the fact that, that she got away in Maryland and went into a nail salon and was trying to reach out to her mom, reach out to her family to come and get her. And that's now all over the news. Well, I wouldn't say all over the news, but some news outlets have shown the surveillance video from the nail shop that she had called her, family and was whispering, tell my mom to come and get me. And so as a result, they're really laying it in on thick. They do not just manipulation they do it by force, but also constantly torturing her in the sense of placing fear in her mind about her family. Okay? Algae swamp reeds. I don't know how this plays into it. Maybe this is an area near that factory car. Remember I said it was like an industrial or kind of compound kind of place, a warehouse even, somewhere where you just don't necessarily expect humans to be at. Sometimes swamp could be, this is a swampy situation, very murky, unclear, reeds, a lot of connected organizations that are all linked together and in cahoots with one another. November could mean either someone of significance, there's two or more that heads this. It could be their birthday. It could be a month of significance. It could be her birthday. I don't know her birthday, actually. It could be someone's birthday tied to the situation. It could represent when vital information will come out. It could represent when a trial happens. So the month of November is significant, okay? Weeks. Weeks is interesting because it has been weeks. It was May 1st that she went off and took the train from New York to, I guess it was D.C. So that was May 1st, and I'm recording this June 10th. So it has been several weeks. Now, it can also speak to the weeks coming up, that it's going to take weeks for them to find her. They've really got her buried underground with that buried card. Some people might interpret the buried card as someone who is literally buried. They could also say that the FBI, CIA, there could be some law enforcement involvement. Perhaps the baby card could be that this TiJae is somebody's baby. That, her grandmother, her mama, a baby of theirs, right? It could mean that. Or it could mean that this is part of their entrapment. This organized entity here. All right, let's move on to the next question. So this is what we're dealing with. Some sort of intricate, connected, I'm sensing more, I don't know if it's so much of a cult as it's more of an enterprise that moves and traffics people, I sense. They strongly believe in what they're doing. So that could be why her mom feels like there's some sort of cult, spiritual cult. I won't rule that out, but it's feeling very organized to me. So that's what I'm picking up on here. That's what we are dealing with here. And she is being held against her will. Anger and chains confirms that for me. All right, let's move on to the next question. Who are the key players? Who are we dealing with here? And I'm going to see if the tarot will give me anything, any ideas. If not, I have some oracle cards. Who are we dealing with here? King of Pentacles. Who are the key players? Who's responsible for this? What are we dealing with? I instantly got like a businessman, an enterprising man, someone who may even be respected even in the community. Someone that may look trustworthy, who may even invest in the community, so it's like this person might live a double life, I guess. I don't know. Even though there was a woman, and that woman card came up, who lured her, she is not the one that is running this operation. She is not the one. We got European descent, expensive taste. That goes with the King of Pentacles. Expensive taste. Beauty mark or mole. He has a beauty mark on his cheek. This female also could be someone else that's involved as well. Who are we dealing with here? So when I'm saying who are we dealing with, I'm sensing that addicted. Oh, hold on. 1 second. I'm sensing that we're not just dealing with one person. We're dealing with the head, someone in charge for sure, who's running this, who is to be feared with the King of Pentacles. He's someone who is very well off. Male energy, strong male energy. I sense that he also he spreads his seed, if you will. I don't know how else to say it. He spreads his seeds around. He gets a sick kind of pleasure with that, with addicted. He could either have European features, he could have European ancestry, like he could be mixed, or he could be actually of European descent, or he could have European features and, maybe be like African American, but has some sort of kind of European features, look about himself. beauty mark or mole. There's like, in terms of a key thing about this person, he has a noticeable beauty mark or mole on his person, whether it's on his face or on some other part of his body that people know about. He also could have helpers with the Seven of Pentacles. Someone who is trying to stay the course and keep building. He keeps promising these people, this network, riches, and you could live like me and follow what I'm doing, do what I say, and you too will get what I've got. Some kind of language of that nature. Like a head of a company with the King of Pentacles. I don't know. And this is just the opening reading I'm doing. We're going to see how things unfold with her case, and I'm praying that she is found sooner than later. Downcast pride. Yeah, beats down the people. A lot of psychological warfare. Downcast pride. These people have no shame. They are shameful, or they have no shame. There's the people in this network that have no shame, have no problems doing at the behest of him, this gentleman who's running this. And downcast pride, this is also the people who are under him, taking away from, these women. Downcast pride. Okay. We'll see. Medium hair color. Let's see if there's anything else that's applicable here. Okay. June. Okay, so we got stabbed, sharp weapon. Now, this does not mean that she has been harmed in such a way that she needs medical attention, although it can mean that. Although it can mean some element of torture, it could also mean the simple threat of harm, the simple threat of I will hurt you, seeing others being hurt, downcast pride. So that's why I was saying time is of the essence. It's very important that moves happen. We got the month of June. Major things have already started to happen. I just heard about her case just today, June 10th. And her mom has been dealing with this for like the last month or so. But things are going to finally start to take steam. People Magazine has picked it up. It's on the news outlets in New York and in D.C., I'm sure, and in Maryland. And then also the Sun has picked it up, So it's starting to gain steam. So June is a month of significance for this case. It could mean that he's found in June. It could mean that things develop and unfold by next June. It could mean that June we find out more pressing information. Sooner than later. We have about 10 or 11 more days of spring, okay, from the time I'm recording this video. So maybe some information comes out in the spring that leads to where she may be at. This is an alarming card, okay, no doubt about it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she's been harmed at this point. And I don't necessarily pick up that she is gone. I still feel something from her, if that makes any sense. But yeah, this is someone well connected. And this has been an established thing for a while. Striking appearance. Someone involved, a woman perhaps with a striking appearance. It could be him. So what I'm going to do now, because this is way bigger than I thought, I'm going to pause here, take a picture, move these cards, and then I have 3 more questions to ask, and we're going to do them. We're going to try to fit this all in one video for a change, and I'll be right back. Hey everyone. Okay, so before we get right into the reading, spoiler alert, the lawyer card. I did not really touch upon the lawyer card as I was doing the reading, and so I was like, I need to bring this up to you all. What I'm sensing here is that either the lawyer card could speak to the family needing to get a lawyer or needing some sort of representation to help them with dealing with trying to figure out what's going on, to advocate for them, or the lawyer card could speak to the people or person who is ultimately responsible for holding TiJae captive. They feel protected. They feel like they can do almost anything. They just are moving in a way that they're not really concerned. Maybe they themselves are an attorney or a lawyer. Maybe they have a lawyer on retainer. Maybe this is near an attorney's office, where she may be located. But the lawyer card, it does have some significance. I'm just not sure yet what that significance is in terms of the entire spread. So I am going to be curious to hear what you all think and have to say about this card. All right, now let's get to the reading. Sorry for the spoiler alert, but I needed to share this with you all before we get started. Before we move along, a couple of things I wanted to mention about the King of Pentacles. This is someone who is older, established. The Pentacles represents also the end of autumn. So the November card is interesting to me that we saw just a few moments ago. And so I'm going to keep these kind of all off over here so I can look at them a little bit. But we're now going to ask about where she may be located. Where is TiJae? We'll see if this deck produces anything. There might be another sighting of her. So church, isn't that interesting? Ancient ruins somewhere. That's what I was trying to say too. That factory card, where's my wand? That factory card over here, all the way over there. It's almost like a place that you just wouldn't expect to be at. What do you call it? Dilapidated even. So it could be, that's what this ancient ruins card is about, church. That kind of leads itself back to some sort of organized situation, organized, cult, like her mom says, but I still feel like there's more of an element of, if it's a cult, even that is almost a front. Like really at the heart and essence of what this organization or organized syndicate or whatever it is, what their main purpose is to take in women, abuse them, profit off of them. That's what I'm sensing. Mind control, take control over their minds, bodies, spirits, and take control of them. This could symbolize that maybe there might be another sighting where she gets away from them and she's able to get to go to a church. This could also symbolize that a church could be nearby, wherever she may actually be. Ancient ruins, again, I spoke about that. Cafe could be another sighting of where she might pop up at, like she did at the nail salon. It could be that they'll allow her to go out, and get something to eat with someone, a handler, if you will. The handler is distracted and then she's able to call again. One could hope, one could hope. So I'm going to see if we can get any additional information about where she may be. We got the death. Okay. Interestingly enough, death represents the time period of October 21st to November 20th. Page of Cups, news of more information coming to her loved ones. Cups, love, pages, news, messages coming forth in the coming days ahead in the summertime. So, there is going to be some more information coming. Too alarmed about the death card because, first of all, we're asking the question, where is TiJae? Right? That's the question that we are asking. And so since we're asking that, it could be that if we're not careful, she could end up making a transition. So time is of the essence this summer to find her. So that way we can bring her on home, right? So that's what I'm picking up on here. I'll throw some additional cards. Let me see. That one, just so some of my folks who watch, they say, why didn't you use that card? I'm sometimes intuitively called to shuffle because I'll know when it's like a fumble, if you will, versus an actual jumper. Lawyer. So where is she? Where is TiJae? Death card. I'm going to sit with that one too. I always update my comment section and I pin a comment with any additional hits that come to me after I do reading. Some sort of force, imminent threat of harm, that they will take her life or take the lives of her loved ones here. The death, rebirth next to the Page of Cups. Constant messages over and over again, holding it up over her head, okay? I'm trying to see if I can get a sense of like what state is she in, like where she could be. And maybe one of you all are like very well versed in that. Like where could she possibly be? Like what state? What state? And let me look at my page. UV. So the pages can represent in terms of letters, important letters, in either a city's name, the name of a town she may be in, a name of a building or some location, a city, a state. It could have the letters U or V with the page is what I tie that to. So I'm going to explore that a bit more. See what else we can come up with. So we can get some more clues about where she may be. But the important thing is at this point I'm sensing she's with us, but the death rebirth is a cause for concern, as was the stabbed card we saw earlier. Hell, oh my gosh, I had a chill. Held captive, hiding, locked away, or hidden. This is someone who's been having some sort of sexual relations with her. We've got intimate relationships, sex, romance, emotional ties. Either they have emotional ties towards her, or she, is starting to be brainwashed to have emotional ties towards them. Brainwashing can happen. You would think it would take months, years, but sometimes brainwashing can happen sooner than you would think. Okay, you could start to identify and have compassion for your captor, is what I'm picking up on here. Break and enter. I wonder what that means. I'll sit with that. I don't know. Sit with that one. Let's move on to the next question. And if I think of something as we do this reading, I'll mention it. Otherwise, I'll pin it in I'll put it in my comment and pin the comment. Let's see. What's next for the investigation and the search for TiJae, or if there's any important clues to share? What is next, Spirit? We've got the sun. The sun also came up in the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle reading we did. You can't see it, it's very far away, but there is the sun. So that is an optimistic thing to see. Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay, we'll talk that in a moment. Anything else? What is coming up next? Or important clues. Okay. This is a fumble, folks. So I'm going to reshuffle these. I just want one more, Spirit. Thank you. Ten of Swords. Okay. All right. Let me just pull from this one and then we'll wrap it up. What's coming up next in the search for TiJae? Any important clues, considerations, things happening to be on the lookout for? Karmic partner. house. Okay. All right. So we got the Sun. This is an optimistic card to receive in such a reading because it speaks to positive news, justice prevailing in a sense. You know, I always have to caution people about what justice could look like. All right, justice doesn't always necessarily mean that we go straight to, we find her, we recover her, she's healthy, she's well. Very well, this card could very well, by the way, mean all of that. But I also want to inform people and let people know that sometimes justice doesn't come like that. It may just be that she's found, but that the persons or people responsible are not brought to justice. It could mean that they are brought to justice, but she is not found. There's some element of like it's good, but it's not all good. And there's some form of an abusive presence either against a woman or at the hands of a woman, with this Queen of Wands in reverse. Manipulative, abusive power, this one. This could represent the breaking down of the psychological, mental breakdown of TiJae that's happening. The Sun card also represents the timing of July 21st to August 20th. So there could be important developments, news that comes about during that time. Queen of Wands, the Wands represents the timing of weeks. We saw the weeks card earlier. Queen of Wands for me represents about 13 weeks or so, or the season of spring, okay? And or. So there's that. We've got Judge. That's interesting to me. That could mean that this is going to be something that results in going to a trial, but it also could mean that, you know, it may not go to trial, but there's some level of like a judging, a karmic reckoning happening. I say that because of the karmic partner card, okay? Karmic partner. This was a fated connection. This was a fated path for TiJae. As painful as this is to even relay, this was part of her journey. This was almost inevitable, even though a lot of people probably are going to come out and say, oh, she should have, you know, if the job sounds too good to be true. But it just feels like they were on a karmic collision, her and the scout, for example. It just, you know. Ten of Swords, some sort of painful ending that may be coming about in the months ahead. This could also be, though, that she walks away from a painful situation, that she makes it out of a painful situation. Could very well mean that, okay? But it also could mean destruction, the end, especially if they are not careful. So this is a reading that's like, you know, Spirit is like, okay, she's here now with us, but time is of the essence. And if things continue to go on, if she tries to make another escape, they may try to make example out of her with this Ten of Swords. Swords represents the season of winter and the timing of months. So it could be that she could be held captive for like 10 months, or that they can make her like, look at this, mental illness, stress, fragmented, breakdown, breaking down those who love her and searching for her. So, yeah. So time is of the essence. I say that too. This is like this person, this entity she's dealing with is a ticking time bomb. She's, you know, there are times where she is starting to believe the crazy that they have been putting on her. But there is still a part of her that needs and desperately wants to be found. Look, we've got male suspect and accomplice, main dude. She wants to be found. It may turn out that she's found in some sort of enclosed space. What's been her home for the last several weeks, last several months, as time wears on. I'm praying that she's found in June. I'm praying. But, you know, if law enforcement, this is all a big if, this is what also that karmic partner is like, you know, everything can't be set in stone because we are free at free will, right? Each person, myself, the people who are involved in this at any point can change course and go in an entirely different direction and change the course of how even this reading would come about, or how it would look if we did it again, a few weeks from now, a month from now. Because, and it's also dependent on how vigorous law enforcement goes after finding clues. They haven't really been putting forth a lot of good effort, honestly, from what I can tell. The family has been the one who's been keeping her name out in the news. So I don't know, the house situation, that's going to be interesting. Is this a home, a house that she ultimately is found in? No suspect. Somebody breaking her down mentally, breaking her down, making her very fearful, planting seeds of fear into her mind. Okay. Kidnapped abduction is the last card. So she's definitely been taken from her. Like, I can just imagine what happened. She was, she went to this woman's house, and this male suspect, accomplice, the person ultimately who she's been linked up with or whatever, and they start to break her down. They kidnap her at that point and has been holding her against her will ever since she went to this house. So I want to hear from you all. Let me know what you think about this case. Let me know what comes up for you. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video and also subscribe if you haven't already. Support my channel, please. It's much appreciated by me, yours truly. And I'm praying for TiJae. I'm praying for her family. We want her to come home. Let's keep her name out in the algorithms. Let's raise up awareness about her disappearance, because I have a feeling she's not the only one a part of this network here. All right, my loves, take very good care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.